Hello, Genesis Dad here. Today I want to talk about something that can relate or pertain to so many things in life. So I want you to take this very seriously. There's over 8 billion people in the world, meaning Earth itself. That's a lot of people. There might only be, 10, 15 million people in Florida where we live or around where we live versus 8 billion people in the world. So if something doesn't specifically go your way, it doesn't mean that there's not something else out there for you. This can refer to pertain to relationships. It could pertain to friendships. It could be a work. It could be something that just didn't happen at the right time, and that doesn't mean it can't happen later on. Like I told you about Murphy's Law, if it can happen, it will happen. But the point is, like, let's use it in a reference of a relationship. You have the first guy that you like, he likes you too. Unfortunately, the relationship doesn't work out. That doesn't mean there's not somebody else in this world for you that could be even better for you. Thinking that somebody is your soulmate, the first person you meet, isn't realistic. Just like you're not going to keep the first car you have. You're not going to keep the first house you buy. You're not going to have the first dog that you got for the rest of your life. And you have to realize that sometimes in life, you have to take stepping stones to get where you need to go. Because chances are your first job isn't going to be your last job either. You might be 14 years old working at Publix doing bags, but that's not the job you're going to have for the rest of your life. There's a different job for you. There's a better job for you. There's a more equipped, well-paying job for you. Same with your car. Your first car might not be a great car, but once you start making money and you can afford a great car, you will have a great car. So don't ever be disappointed and discouraged when the first thing or first few things that you have isn't exactly what you want. Like I said, relationship, friendships, you're going to make many, many friends throughout your life. Some of them are going to stay with you. Some of them aren't. Most of them aren't. And that's just being realistic. And we have to realize that you move on to things. But there's one thing that will always be in your life that will never change, and that's me, your father, who will always love you and cherish you and have your back and be your best friend in this scary, scary world that we call home. So thank you for watching this, Genesis. To the next.
I guess he's making this video for a child of his own to watch when he is growing older. So yeah, I would agree with most of what this guy is saying. Sure, yeah, friendships are not very natural. They are the result of this artificial society. Naturally, everybody lives in the wild. You have a giant territory. Other tribes have other giant territories. The only people who surround you are blood related family, your cousins, your siblings, your parents, your aunts, whatever. That's basically it, your grandparents, of course. So, yeah, friendships, the fact that you can relate with people who are not even your bloodline is curious enough. So, if you found someone, I mean, cherish that. It's going to be a way for you to learn because it's always a different perspective, a different way of living. I mean, if they are good looking, tall, I mean, they probably, and if they are emotionally well most of the time, they will be a great company for you to have throughout your life. But if that's not the case, don't even bother. They have nothing to offer you. Yeah, like anything in life, sure, what you might be getting right now can always be improved. Even if you are in a relationship with somebody, like it's been 20 years, you have kids, and you are not very satisfied, you can see changes in the relationship after you make changes within yourself. And if naturally the thing happens to fall down and you meet somebody else, okay, but don't focus on changing externally what surrounds you. Focus on changing internally, and then see the car that you own naturally change, the people who surround you naturally change. The whatever task that you do on a daily basis change. This 8 billion, we have no clue if this is true or not. Yeah, there are plenty people out there. If you are like, oh, but I cannot find someone who sees the world as I see, blah 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 blah. I mean, there are people like that, like you. If you exist, other people like you exist. Will they be exactly like you? Of course not, but they will be enough in terms of compatibility for you to have a wonderful relationship with them. And please understand that some people are ideal to just to talk and to get some recommendations from. Other people are more like your day-to-day companion. Different people, depending on what they have to offer, and you will be on your side more closely or just more sporadically. The title is "It Might Just Not Be the Right Time." Yeah, that's the thing. It just tells Murphy's Law. If it can happen, it will happen. Not necessarily everything. A lot of things can happen. You just have to think like Doctor Strange when he thinks of the possibilities. A lot of things can happen, but from all of those things, only one happens. Every time there is a bifurcation in the tree of life that is always happening. The branch that is chosen is one out of quite a lot. So yeah, you do what you feel like doing. Trust that. Trust your intuition. It will guide you greatly. Your instinct, doing what you feel like doing, will do wonders for you, as it does for wild animals, which we are, but we just decided to domesticate ourselves, or somebody did. Yeah, you don't need no GPS, you already have that internal one. And then, whenever you might be like, you feel like doing something, and if an obstacle comes your way, yeah, please remind yourself of this. It might not be the right time, or whatever else. Just trust the process. You do what you feel like doing. If obstacles come, you be like water going down a river. You just turn right or left or up. Just don't try to get that rock out of your way or that branch or whatever. Just move along. Just continue your path. And if things cross your ways again, but in a manner that they are not an obstacle, but a way to go to naturally, again in that flowing river, then you go that way. But for now, just know what you want, trust what you feel like doing, but then also trust that if life puts you this sort of boundaries, I mean, taking into account that you're well biochemically, that you're nurturing yourself well, you are well emotionally, then those obstacles will just basically guide you in the way that you basically decided you want for yourself. Because it's the heart that acts as a magnet. And for as long as emotionally you are well, you will attract the path that will lead you to whatever you felt that was what you wanted to attract. If you think you want something, but life is not giving you that right now, either you don't deserve it because emotionally you are not that person. You have to be a content person in order to get things that will content you further. You have to deserve things, and if you already deserve it, but you're just not getting it, is because your macro decision for your life is not aligned with this micro decision you think you want. You think this will lead you to the macro, but no. And basically life is not giving you this micro because it knows it won't lead you to the macro you decided for yourself. Thanks for watching.